this video, I want to share how working with Quilters template material helps to create artistic stencils for fabric arts, mixed media art, and even for scrapbooking. It's flexible, but yet it does have just some strength to it. Now, material like this you wouldn't think to be able to cut in an electronic cutter, but ScanNCut does a really nice job of making precise cuts. Here are a couple examples that I have of different stencils that I've already created with ScanNCut. Now you can see this is just a few different chevron shapes that I've created. Here is some stars, and let me get some paper to back it so you can see just the detail that you can get. And this one's my favorite here, and this is actually a design I came up with in Adobe Illustrator, and I printed it up, scanned it into ScanNCut, and it was able to recognize the beautiful spirograph kind of design. So today we're going to cut just a fun little flower that is already built into the ScanNCut designs. And I've already loaded my template material. My blade depth, I'm using the standard blade, and my blade depth is at a 10. Now, depending on the intricacy of your design as well as your template material, you'll want to vary your blade depth anywhere from 9 up to 10.5, depending on, again, the intricacy of your design as well as the thickness of your Quilters template. Now, for this design, I have here again just a kind of like a free-form looking flower. I'm going to hit OK. And I've already tested my material, and there's not a lot of intricacy to this design, so I'm not too worried. But if there was a little bit more intricacy, I'd put my blade depth up just a little bit, just to make sure that the machine was able to really get into those precise areas. My settings, my internal settings are cut pressure 5 and cut speed 1. So, okay. And now let's set our flower. And I am going to do a background scan. Granted, it is a clear material, but it does make a little bit of a difference. You can still see it on the background. When I scan it in, it kind of mutes out my mat. So that way I can just make sure that my stencil is in the right area when I'm cutting it. Alright, I'm just going to pull it down here, hit OK, and cut. Alright, so now you can see where I've done my test cuts earlier, and I'm just going to peel off my template material. Now, one thing I didn't mention was that the mat that I'm using is the standard mat. Let me just close this up here. It is the standard mat, and I actually have the high-tack fabric support sheet on the mat, so that it keeps the template material down. Alright, and let's pull this off there. And there we go. You can see just what a nice fun stencil this creates. And again, let me pull out some of the other designs. You could even use the negative space as well. See if you can see that a little bit better. Oh, that doesn't really help. Let's get some blue paper there. So you could see, you could use the negative space there. And again, kind of pulling back some of the other stencils that we've created. Here are just some really pretty stars. And again, my favorite, the spirograph kind of design. And here are some bubbles. Now, this stencil here, you can see it kind of ripped a little there. I wasn't very careful when I pulled it off. The high-tack fabric support sheet is really, really tacky. So you will want to make sure that you, when you are pulling it off, that you do pull it off a little bit with ease. Now the one that I used today, I made sure that it was one that I had used before. It kind of had some wear on it, so when I pulled off my template material, it didn't really stick too bad to it. But yeah, this is a great, if you're a mixed media artist, or if you like to do fabric art, painting on fabrics, art journaling, or even scrapbooking. Even these templates work great for embossing. If you do dry embossing with a light box, these templates work wonderful for that as well. So yeah, just some good ideas on how to use ScanNCut to create your own custom templates and stencils for your next project.